welcome to the 360 SPA Sports Program. I am Haji Drame. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome to our studios in Manjakunda. This week we have another guest who will be talking about sports, but that will be after our first break. But before going any further, I want to seize this opportunity to thank you for following us, liking our videos, sending us your comments, and also subscribing to our YouTube channel. We hope you will continue to do that. I'll be back after the short commercial break. Welcome back to the sports program on OnTHDTV. Now I can introduce to you our guest in the studio. He's not a stranger in Gambian sports, especially when we talk about athletics. Javis is in the studio today and he's our guest. Welcome to the program, bro.
Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of sports program by OnTHDTV with my host Haji Drame. And it's a pleasure being with you together for another wonderful sports program.
Yes. Let's talk about the sports that you love, athletics.
Okay.
But first, what have you been to? Because athletics has been a little bit low at the Independence Stadium, the traditional location venue, where when you miss watching athletics, the only place you think about is to rush to the Independence Stadium to just go and watch the training. And you were, the regular faces that we see there. But first, what have you been to?
Yeah, we have been into, or we are still into athletics. The only thing we miss is the venue, because we all understand that the Independence Stadium is undergoing renovation for the past years, which deprive athletes from having access to the tracks. But nonetheless, they are using these local grounds to do their athletics championship, their preparation, which is not favorable for the athletes, but definitely it's better to at least be engaged in something than not being engaged. But definitely they are missing the stadium, and which is a standard structure for track and field, because when we talk of athletics, it's on a special installation if you want to see the standard results. But we have been missing that nationally for the past years. Most of the time these athletes have clubs in Senegal, and those who are in the diaspora, those are the ones who are more active, and their results have also been seen in the media, because nowadays it's very easy for people to get your results, because everything is digitalized and people have access to information.
Let's talk about the grassroots, the sector that you love most. In most of the time, we always seen you coaches coming with grassroots talents who were hidden before and exposed to the national level before, taking them outside. How have life been for coaches in the grassroots level? Because if we don't have a venue like you say at the Independence Stadium where we can bring them to, and the coaches, national team coaches, to see, how has life been for you?
Definitely it has been challenging for the past years. It has not been easy for us as coaches, and most especially athletes, because the ground, if it is not suitable, it is not favorable for the athletes. It can, one, affect your performance, two, it can also trigger injury, because you are running in a place which is not level, and we all know athletics require a lot of strength, coordination, speed, you name it. But definitely it has been challenging having our programs or our activities in other grounds which are not specifically designed for athletic events. So definitely it is a challenge. We have been appealing to the ministry, to the government, to the stakeholders especially responsible for the renovation of the stadium, to fast track it, because definitely we are losing a lot of talents. It has gone to a level that most of these Gambians now have started naturalizing for other countries due to lack of 1, 2, or 3 factors.
And before we don't often hear that people are going to naturalize. You just feel that we're here. But if that is going to come from the cadet level, the junior level, perhaps it's going to fade away what the country should expect in the future. But let's still stay with the grassroots. What has been the contribution of authorities? When I mean authorities, athletics association, also school sports, are they been supporting or collaborating with the athletic sector?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the only stakeholder that has been very influential and vital and effective when it comes to grassroots development or youth athletics is the secondary school sports. Because secondary school sports, every year, they organize regional championship and also national championship. And this is where we get our raw talents for them to proceed to the national team. So definitely secondary school sports have been having challenges ranging from ground settings, you know, funds, acquiring of funds to stage the championship, but definitely they are doing their best. But we are hoping on the ministry and the government to come up with at least other means of supporting these athletes, because these athletes, if you talk of athletics in Gambia, you talk of schools.
Yes.
And school is grassroots.
Yeah, that's where you get them, catch them young.
Catch them young
Yes.
for a better future.
Yes.
And the transition, if it is smooth, you can always see the results like the likes of Gina Bass, Tijan Keita,
yes.
you know, and other
Sengan,
Aliu Ju, who has just represented the Gambia from for the World Championship. All of these athletes pass through school sports, from the primary school to the junior secondary school sports. But what we are missing is the national championship organized by the association which is responsible for athletics, which is the GA.
The GA, we'll talk about that, because you know GA cannot, you know, sideline or ignore the fact that the national championship could be the best way to get our representation outside this country. But you mentioned, you know, athletes who at the time going to school was catching the attention of all football, sports, you know, fanatics, because at the time, you know, athletics was one of the most famous, you know, sport when it comes to this inter-house, this inter-schools, which we are missing now a little bit. But when you look at the school setup, you've been crisscrossing the country, knowing, you know, looking at the potential that is in different schools. How do you see the school setups now in terms of, you know, grooming the athlete from the school level?
Definitely, they are doing absolutely well. They only need support. Because if you look at the school setup, the ones responsible for these athletes are the PE teachers.
Yes.
And the PE teachers are doing a very good job. They only need extra support from the various stakeholders, being the ministry, being the association.
Yes.
Because most of the time they find it very difficult to gather these athletes together and train them, and also camp them for national and international championships, because they need this logistics. Because, for example, where you've already mentioned it, athletics have been one of the sports in the Gambia that has been producing exceptional results, ranging from the sub-region and even in the continent and even in the world.
Medals, when we talk about medals, athletics that we, you know, that
we had continental championship from under 20, the youth level, Tijan Keita.
Oh yeah.
It's a global 400 meters continental champion.
And that record stands still.
Still stands. You know, you have the likes of Gina Bass, who have been winning African championship for the past years.
Olympic semi-finals.
Olympic up to the level of semi-finals. The reason why she did not reach the finals is because of there are certain things that needs to be tackled. And as time goes on, I guess if we have a better representation administratively when it comes to athletics and any sport, the Gambia can transcend and do wonders, because we have raw talents. When you talk of talents in Africa, in this sub-region, Gambia is one of the hottest regions where you can find raw talents. So the only problem is the support, the exposure, the motivation. You know, that is all what is left.
Lacking. Yes, sir. Recently, in fact, the youth cadre participated in many international championships, and they excel. Some of them won medals and came with those glory back home. Do you see the cadre settle, the cadre level, continuing the momentum from where Tijan Keita's and the others left it?
That is a very big challenge due to so many factors, because the only problem we have here is transition.
Yes.
From one stage to another. You can see that they always do well when it comes to the cadet level, the junior level, and the youth level.
Yes.
But the problem is the senior level, because it is a long-term program. Athletics or any sport needs a long-term preparation program.
And the senior level is another way of each one.
It is different, because that is elite, it's professionalism. There, if you don't get it right,
you will never get it right again.
You will never get it right again in your life. You are only going up and down. There will be no consistency in your progress. These are all due to structural factors and certain technical challenges that we are facing. Not at the level of the grassroots, not at the level of the youth, but in the senior level, ranging from the national senior team, which is taken care of by the government and the ministry and the association itself, the Gambia Athletics Association. But nonetheless, whenever, just imagine an athlete who has not run in a track for 3 years, because those who represented us in the last African School Sports Championship, you know,
they did not run, you know, on a track.
On a track.
Yes, they were just running
from
the
their
schools.
inter-house is on the sand.
Wow.
In the inter-schools, regional championship is in the sand.
Yeah.
The inter-schools championship in the sand. Their preparation to go to the championship is on the sand. And they went there and
they won medals.
They won medals.
So
had it been that they have been provided all these necessary
support, for logistics, it would have been different.
Definitely. The transition will be.
Is it good for us to continue going to train outside Gambia, like Senegal and our country, and got prepared for, you know, like African Championship? Is that okay for you, the coaches?
No. Because there is no place like home. Because psychologically, this even affects the athletes. Because if you reach at a certain level in sports, you need to develop your psychology. And being out of your country, training, away from your family, not having the social support, the interaction with the society, the support from the nation, that alone can reduce your performance. But yet still, they have overcome all those challenges. So the best place to train is at home because we have the resources. We have the human resources. The only thing we need is the financial and the technical support.
Technically, are you guys consider for further, you know, advanced courses where at least, you know, because the world is moving, and as we're moving, you know, every country has to move along with the world, so that at least we'll be able, because today we have athletes who are represented everywhere in the world, and everybody knows about them as far as Gambia is concerned. Are you guys consider with regards to those kind of courses?
The level of capacity building when it comes to athletics coaches is very low in these past years. Because if I can remember, not more than 2 or 3 individuals for the past 3 years went outside for capacity building. And these are not even grassroots coaches. These are already established national coaches trying to upgrade themselves. But for example, for us, we've reached at a certain level, because if you have a bachelor's degree in physical education and sports and a specialty in athletics, it's above level 3.
Yes, that's at that level, yes.
Yeah, it's above level 3.
Yes.
And we have some coaches in the Gambia who have level 3, Maria Masala.
Yes.
You have others like Malik Bob, Musa Sane, who are in level 2. So the problem is not the professionalism or the elite, it's the grassroots. We need to capacitize the primary school and the upper basic and the senior basic school teachers who are training these athletes.
Those PE teachers who are there.
Those PE teachers. Because if the foundation is not strong in your building, even when the rainy season comes, you know what is going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. You're not going to get good.
It's the same thing in sports. If the foundation is not strong, whenever they reach certain level, the consistency will not be there. You will hear them today, you will not hear them tomorrow. So the best thing is to capacitize the PE teachers who are doing the voluntary job, sacrificing their resources, their time, their energy. At least, but if I can remember, when was the last time a level 1 World Athletics training program was conducted in the Gambia? I guess it was 2017.
Wow, that is a long time.
In 2 years' time, it will be 10 years.
There has been no training in
No
such...
training. And the training that they have from the Gambia College, which I am a lecturer in the same department, PE teacher, is only 3 years. And in these 3 years, athletics is only 1 course, and it's only for 1 semester. And the level of information and knowledge that they get from the college is most of the time not enough to transcend and develop these ones. The association, the ministry, the government should come up with training to build up the capacities of these teachers who are the grassroots pastors.
Is this not going to disturb the upcoming or the already motivated or interested coaches like PE coaches, PE teachers, coaches who want to move with athletics? Will this situation not discourage them from going further?
It is discouraging them because most of the time, for example, after the college, you have nowhere to go in the Gambia to study sports.
Because there is no course for it at the university as
No,
well.
the university, there is no physical education and sports program at the university. And we have been yearning to at least have it so that people can enroll and develop so that they can come back and bring back better results. But we are hoping that because the Gambia College have been upgraded to an educational university now.
Yeah.
It's not the Gambia College, it's University of Education,
okay.
the Gambia.
So perhaps that can raise the degrees as well.
They are going to venture into physical education and sports, because when you talk of life skills in the Gambia, this is one of the ways that can develop people. Because if you cannot make it academically, you can make it through sports or through arts,
Absolutely.
entertainment.
Yeah, because they are professional.
Acting.
Yes, yeah.
It's profession.
Yeah.
It's a profession.
You go to professional athletic championship.
Definitely.
You meet a coach there.
Yeah.
You meet a physician there. These are all paid.
Yeah.
Because it's a professional league as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a professional sport worldwide, so it needs professional upgrading. So this is where we have been relenting in the Gambia.
So let's talk about the national championship. Why do you think national championship are no more like they used to be some 5, 10 years ago?
Yeah, this is because one, we don't have the crowd. Number one, the stadium is no more there. And when you talk of the national championship in Gambia, it's in two versions.
Yes.
The school championship
Yes.
is considered as the national championship.
Normally it should be in a twofold.
Yeah,
Where you
the
have
association
yes.
should also
organize a national championship
but
through clubs.
the last time it was organized more than even before coronavirus, before 2020.
Oh my God, that was a long
So
time.
it's a big.
Yeah, that was a long time.
It's a big challenge. It's a big.
So the national championship that we see today that is recognized is from the school athletic championship.
Yeah.
That is what it starts. That's where you coaches make selection.
Yeah, that is where we get our athletes from. That is where the Gambia National Athletics Association get all their athletes from the school sports.
So it seems like we're still talking about the school boys international level.
Exactly.
Where you don't take a student from
We
school
have
and yeah.
Still now they have it. Amadou Sabari is a school international. Just like when we are going to school, we are going to school at the same time representing the Gambia.
Yes.
That is how we had the opportunity to have scholarship to go and study and come back to South. But definitely we are having a very big challenge when it comes to sports development, the transition.
Yes.
Because if you don't cater for the grassroots, definitely at the end of the day, the talents might fade away. You don't see them.
You went for studies after you felt that it's time now to take another role. What is stopping you to get to the level where you want to see athletics, particularly those that you deal with?
Lack of support, the structure. The structure of the association is what is disturbing us as of now.
When you say the structure of the association, one listening man, which association? Is it the Gambia Athletic Association? What is that structure that is disturbing or deterring you to get to where you want to be?
Because of lack of functionality, lack of effectivity and efficiency. Because they only come out when it is international competition like the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, the African Games. Anything international. They are not organizing anything national because we are all stakeholders of that association.
Yes.
When everything goes wrong, we are all victims of that association. We are all to be blamed as coaches, not only administrators. But for us coaches, we have a limited liability. We cannot interfere in administrative affairs.
But you are a stakeholder.
We are stakeholders, but definitely we are not.
Are you employed by the Athletics Association, the Gambia National Athletics Association?
No, they employ two coaches.
So why are you not qualified, or are you not guaranteed with that status, to participate freely, into anything related to the organization?
Obviously, for us, we are participating indirectly. Because whenever they organize championships, we are the one who supervise, organize, monitor, evaluate, officiate all these championships. So basically, but if you look at the executive, that is what I am talking about.
Okay, what is it, the executive, that you want to bring up?
Like lack of functionality.
Lack of functionality means that
it's not functioning at all. They are not helping.
So is that
It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge for us. But definitely we have to be blamed because we are the ones that put them there.
Yeah, I was going to ask that because they were elected through a democratic process where they seek for the position and you would give them. So therefore, it seems like they you endorse the mandate of their existence in that association. But do you not think there is a way that dialogue can bring up something that can change the status quo as far as those young athletes that we all serve are concerned?
Yeah, we are already been engaged into a lot of dialogue and programs to see how best we can tackle all these challenges that we are facing. Because when you talk of athletics, being an administrator or being a coach or being a journalist is a very small family.
Yes.
We are all under the same umbrella.
Yes.
So we are all working for the same objective to see the development of athletics in the Gambia.
Absolutely.
So we always interact with them. But most of the time, it's a tradition in the Gambia. The moment you bring out challenges to them, they will always sideline you or see you as a threat.
No, that
should not be the case.
Yes.
Because we are all athletes. Now we are coaches. We are also administrators because I belong to a club, All-Star Athletics Club,
yes,
which I am the technical director and also a coach in the club.
Yeah, somebody was asking me, do we have clubs in the Gambia?
We have clubs in the Gambia, but they are not functional as they are supposed to be.
So do you not think that is why the organization or the association, see it's not necessary to push for it? Because clubs should be the stakeholders who can call for a championship, like a national championship should be organized in this country every time. So what are you guys doing to make those clubs function?
As I can say, the only way that athletics function in the Gambia is through the schools. If you are not in the school system, you are not an athlete, a student, it's always very difficult for you upon graduation.
So that means that the moment you graduate from school, if you are not financially strong to have a scholarship outside, is that going to be the end of your career?
It's going to be absolutely the end of your career. You can only be here running for May Day, and if you are lucky to have a club in Senegal, you can go there and represent them for club championship and come back in the Gambia.
So do you guys do recommendation about issues related to that? Because that would not be fair to an athlete who have started from primary school level up to senior secondary school, where he should continue with his career, and not because there's no facility, then that is it.
Definitely, it's definitely frustrating. But most of the time, it's these athletes themselves, like those athletes who are in the diaspora.
Yes, because I want us to get now into the diaspora, because generally, what is your assessment of the Gambian contingent outside training there? We have few in France, Paris, who are training. Even before the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, they were in Paris training, and they continue to train there with a scholarship. What is your general perception about Gambians that are out, athletes, I mean?
Now we have a quite number of them. Not only those ones in France. Those in France are only 5 of them, like Gina Baz, Ibrahima Kamara, Sengan Joe, Aliou Diouf, and Adama Jammeh. They have been benefiting from the
Olympic Solidarity Fund
for more than 10 years now.
Yes.
If it was other countries, they would have looked into other athletes to bring them up.
For continuity.
For transition.
Yes, yes.
But nonetheless, maybe it's their chance. But we have a lot of them outside. But most of the time, if you are not in the hands of the association, like if the association did not facilitate your going out, it's always very difficult for them to consider you when it comes to representation.
So you have to be with the association before you are considered.
Good relation, in a good rapport with them, for them to be considered, for you to be considered, even if you don't meet the qualification standard, even if you are not the best, you will be selected to go and represent the Gambia, which is definitely not right, because in sports, selection should be based on performance.
On merits. Yeah,
especially in athletics. Football is a team.
Yes.
Maybe if a team goes and one player is not performing, you can take the player.
Yes, sir.
But in athletics, it's individual performance. So most of the time, we have athletes who are performing exceptionally great. But when it comes to representation, they are not considered.
Are they communicating? Are they communicating to the Gambia? Did they set their records? Like we said, we're in the digital world. The association should also go on social media to check for Gambians who are doing it. But are the athletes?
That is what I'm saying. The association is not doing its work right, because the secretary or the coaches entrusted by the association should be the ones scrutinizing the results of these athletes. You can see them anytime you go. You can see their results in the media.
Because somebody can run in the US in the next 2 minutes, you will.
You can even watch it.
Yeah, you will see.
You can even watch it live.
Yes.
Not even post-competition, watch it.
You can go live and watch and see the timing.
So most of the time, these athletes get frustrated. So they have no other option than to naturalize for a country that is supporting them, providing them with the necessary support in what they need for their career to progress.
That brings me to Tijan Keita. Tijan was sitting just where you were some time ago interviewing him. We also, how Tijan rose to the ranks when he was started and how he broke those international records and, represent the Gambia in many youth championships. What do you make of Tijan's situation? Because he was here, talking about all the effort he puts before the 2024 Olympic Games, but he was never considered.
Yeah, he was never considered. That is what I'm saying, because Tijan Keita, the association did not facilitate his going out of the Gambia.
But should that be the case? If you don't facilitate, somebody should not go for the Gambia?
That is one thing. I don't. That is why I say it's a big question. But maybe things will change, because next year we are going for Congress, and we are preparing for this positive change to have the right individual, so that people who are supposed to be considered and selected are going to be selected. So because Tijan, the last competition Tijan represented the Gambia was the World Youth Olympics.
Olympics, yes.
And after that, Tijan ran exceptional timings, which qualified him to represent the Gambia in so many international competitions. But he has not been considered, because whenever he speaks, he is outspoken. He always speaks the right, and they don't like that from him.
But that should not be the reason of him.
That is Gambia, Mr. Drang, I am telling you. Even right now, as I am talking to you, the moment they hear it, I was in their book. So
yeah, this is a program that doesn't look at somebody to categorize you. We are talking about facts. Development of athletics. It has been a long time. We haven't had a lot of things, even though there are young athletes who are going out winning. But the transition that you're talking about is the most important thing. Gina is one of the finest as we speak in athletics. But do we find a successor to Gina?
That is the very big.
So in the female category, who do you think can wear the shoes of Gina?
Yeah, we have some very potential females that, if they are given the support and the motivation and the technical assistance that they need, they can do better than Gina. But it is going to be the other way around. You've seen the likes of Aissatou, who just represented the Gambia in
Algeria?
Yeah, Algeria,
yes.
in the championship.
Yes.
She did absolutely well. Not only Aissatou, you have quite a number of them. If I want to name them, yes. I might be partial or biased, but you have quite a number of individuals who can succeed Gina. But what is the problem? What the problem is the association is not giving opportunities to these young ones for them to prepare. They only come on board when it is few months for international competitions. For example, we have Dakar 2026.
Yes.
The World Youth Olympics.
That's the Youth Olympics. That's going to be a big
in Senegal.
Should have a big advantage of that one.
By now we should have a team, and by now they should have been in their proceedings towards their preparation.
Yeah. In fact, the Youth Championship should be part of the discussion. You are watching the 360 SPA Sports Program coming to you live from Manjakuna, OnTHDTV. I am in the studio today with Javis. He's an outspoken Gambian athletics coach who has always been at the grassroots level to develop young athletes. The youth game, many are saying that Gambia should use this, we are close to Senegal, to have a bigger representative. Do you see that coming?
There is a big possibility, because there are no qualification standard in that Youth Olympics.
Yes.
It's just organization, representation, and accreditation. So we can have that, but the issue is not the big number, the issue is the preparation.
Yes.
Because if we wait until, for example, the Youth Olympics is going to be in August, if you wait until May, June, or June, July, to start preparing, that is not going to be enough. You have athletes who have been preparing for the past 3 years.
Especially Senegal.
Championship. Yeah. For example, Senegal, and we can just use Senegal as our next door neighbor. If the Gambia Athletics Association and the Senegalese Athletics Association have a very good cooperation, it will be of our advantage. Because Senegal is using Gambia when it comes to athletics development.
Because some of our athletes even participate.
75% of the club representations in Senegal are all Gambians. If Gambians stops going to Senegal for their national and club championship, they will not have any championship. And this is bringing up the name of Senegal in athletics. They are gaining so many funds through organization, because you have a high performance training center in Senegal. That is where Gina and all of them started.
Ibrahim and all that, they all started in
We have multiple standard stadiums in Senegal, in their regions, not talking of their capital. In Thiès or Kaolack you go, you find a standard track. So most of the time, this is what Senegal is doing. Had it been, Senegal always say, they say that had it been we had the talent that you have, then by now, the people will talk of us in athletics as the same way they are talking on football.
So, like for instance now, the representation of Gambians in the National Senegalese League, would that be, an advantage going into the youth game, or we still need to prepare back home here well and put up a good preparation?
We need to set up a team and start working on how to prepare these athletes towards the World Youth Olympics, which is Dakar 2026. It's not leaving them to go, and because they only go to Senegal to compete. Most of them don't train in Senegal.
They just go and compete.
They just go and they train here. They train under the sun here, in the beach, at the golf course, in school football fields, etc.
And they go to Senegal and compete on those high standard,
Yeah, definitely. And most of the time, some of them catch injury, because you cannot be training on the sun.
And that could be the end of some of them, because
they are
when there's injury, there's a problem.
Yeah, and especially when it is muscular or joint injury. It can be the end of your career.
You still going to schools, and you still, talking to schools about athletics, and you still love these sports, and you want to see more young athletes coming. What are the schools doing ahead of these games? Because we're talking about youth Olympics. Therefore, most of these athletes will be coming from schools. If we want to get the best of representation, what are schools doing? Are they also considering putting hands together to work with coaches like you and bring up together a team that can represent us well in this youth championship?
The national coaches or the athletics coaches have always been working with schools, because most of them are PE teachers.
Yes.
Not even most of, all of them, I can say.
Yeah.
It's only those in the military or in the
police sectors and other
those who are not working with schools, but 75% of the athletics coaches are working with schools or under schools. It is not the duty of the schools to prepare a national athlete for the Gambia to go and represent.
But
they are stakeholders.
Yes.
The only thing they are considering is the inter-schools.
Yes.
They have started their pre-season. Now we are in September, yeah. School starts early. If you go to Fayala Golf Course, you go to these schools, you will meet them training for the inter-schools. So it's after the inter-schools where or when the National Association will organize trials from these inter-schools. We get them from the inter-schools and organize trials, and then that is the time they are catered for when it comes to representation of the Gambia. It should be the responsibility of the ministry,
but
in collaboration with the association,
the GAA,
complementing government efforts to see that these athletes have a long-term preparation. It's still not late.
Yeah, but are they coming? Is the GAA coming to schools, talking to you about, preparation for the 2026?
No.
That has not started yet.
No. The GAA don't even go to schools. They don't even care about schools. It's the school sports that normally facilitated for GAA. So which means that school sports, secondary school sports, is complementing the efforts of GAA, and GAA should always support them. They should support them. They should come up with training. They should come up with capacity building. They should come up with so many technical facilities or equipments supplied to schools, because these schools are producing athletes for us nationally.
So they should be complementing the school, so that at least to make sure that
it's not the school should be complementing GAA.
That's correct.
Definitely.
That is correct.
But the schools are doing their quota. They have been even going beyond. Because if you look at schools, is not only for sport, it's for academics. Because if you are going to school, you are a student.
You need to carry,
You need to
consider
balance
student.
both
Exactly.
academics and sports.
That's why St. Augustine, Gambia,
used to produce the
a lot of
school
boys international,
international.
scholar athletes,
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. But definitely, it's high time that the association should come and collaborate with the school sports, and provided that the ministry also assists them. And the GNOSC, which is the Olympic Committee, has been doing a lot of efforts recently, looking into the development of athletes in all sports, not only football.
Yeah, there are big development
Yeah,
at the Gambia
because they are organizing trainings.
trainings. A lot
For
of trainings
capacity
happening.
building,
Capacity
for
building.
international standards for PE teachers and coaches in order to.
Yeah, but that's what some of the promises they made.
Yeah.
That they are going to change the status quo. That is to give chance to all sporting disciplines that are practiced in the Gambia, not only.
And kudos to them,
Olympics, yes.
and kudos to them, and thanks to Bainudo and his leadership, they have been doing it since they assumed office. We have experienced Gambians in so many aspects, training for high level, both athletes and both officials and coaches.
Let's talk about the next Olympic Games. Normally, when you finish an Olympic game, the focus goes straight to the next
Olympics.
Paris was 2024. Now LA is the question. Everybody is talking about LA. We have seen Europeans have kicked off with the European Championship, World Championships have already started. Gambia, we have athletes who are in the, training under the Olympic Solidarity, sponsorship. But do we have replacements, or do we have a proper team ahead of the LA Games?
Definitely, the only athletes we are relying on is those in the diaspora, not only those in France.
Yes.
But maybe if they can consider some of these athletes, putting aside their differences, because sports is social.
Yes.
Definitely. If I have a personal problem with you, that is personally between me and you. But when it comes to performance and participation, I should put that aside. So if they have a very good action plan, well ahead of the Paris, provided that it is technical, definitely we have a hope. But apart from that, definitely it's going to be very
it seems like you want them to give chance to those athletes who once ran for the Gambia and they're outside and are willing. Because we spoke to Tijan. Tijan is also targeting Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So meaning that Tijan can still be considered as one of our representatives, if I understand you well.
Yeah, he can be considered as one of our representatives, but depending on the association, because the association is the one that is responsible for selecting teams.
They register you through.
Not even the coaches. For us coaches, we can give them a selection team and they say, okay, we look at this one and we...
I think this should be just in registering. You guys should be responsible for the selection process.
But it's the other way around. We select and we give it to them and they pick. So that is the problem. Tijan is not in good relationship with them.
But Tijan has something that can bring glory to the country.
Exactly. So that is why I say, if we consider the right thing to be done, then we have a very bright future ahead of any. But if we continue to have the same transition, then definitely don't be surprised they pick somebody who has not been even running for the year to go and represent us in any. Because Olympics is qualification now.
Yeah.
If you don't meet the qualification standard, they can give you a wild card.
Yeah,
That is one or two sports.
And recently, the athletics have not been going through wildcard. We saw the performance of recent athletes now.
Yeah.
So I don't think, killing the talent of someone who can be potential, representation.
If you are lucky, before LA you make up the qualification standard, automatically you will be considered.
You consider, yes.
But if you are not lucky to make the qualification standard, depending on the wild card, it's going to be a surprise for you.
But how do you feel not seeing Gambia in the just World Championship in Tokyo?
Because of Gambia is not doing the right thing.
Meaning?
We are not doing the right thing when it comes to athletics, programming, selection, and progression. Look at Botswana. 4 or 5 years ago, Botswana was nowhere to be found.
They are now hitting the wall.
If you go to Botswana, you look at their structure, you look at their technicalities, you look at the way they function in athletics, you will know that this is what is giving them these results. Because I was with them, their police, the one in charge of the national team, Larona Comasi, was my junior in Cuba. We studied together for 6 years in the same university. in the same athletics.
Wow.
He's the coach of Makwala, he's the coach of Leslie Tobago, he's the one that coached the relay team. Just imagine, because of he is giving the support, he is giving the chance, the motivation that is needed.
Meaning that we have the human capacity and
We have the
resources.
human resources here, better than all of these people. I say when it comes to Africa athletics, Gambia is #1. But the thing that is depriving us is our structure, our administration. Because it's not functional.
Because everybody was asking why, is it because Jinabas is not there, that's why we could not get anybody that Gambia can take to the World Championship. Others believe, because we don't have an athlete that meet the requirement. Do you believe so as well?
No. We have so many athletes. It's not about meeting the requirements. Maybe you cannot meet the requirements, but you can go to the competition and surprise people. That depends on your
Because we see in any competition, we see surprising package.
So if you don't give the athletes the opportunity, how can he or she show up his talent? Because all the representation that we are having in the international stage of athletics is most of the time those in the athletics, those in the high performance training center.
Yes.
And it should not be that way. Because some of the other athletes in other countries are performing better than them. If you look at this year, the best performance is done by Suleiman Touré.
And Suleiman Touré is not in France.
Suleiman Touré is not in France, Suleiman Touré is in Holland. You see, you've talked about Tijan Keita. Last year before which champion was it? Not the African.
Is it Mauritius?
No, the Commonwealth Games.
Yes.
The Commonwealth Games, before the Commonwealth Games, Tijan Keita has the best timing among all the Gambians. But he was not considered, he was not even called. And it would have been very easy for him to go and represent the Gambia and build up a very good relay team to bring up the image of the Gambia again.
Especially
We have the athletes, we have the coaches, but we don't have the structure that can take the athletes there. That is the truth of the reality.
It seems like they are signaling that we are very close. But let's talk about your relationship with these athletes outside. Most of these young folks, pass through you, or you know them, you've been advising them when they were young, and today they're still, do you still continue that relationship with them?
Yes.
If yes, what are they saying about their chances to run for the Gambia? Did some of them give up already?
Yeah, some of them give it up, some of them are frustrated, some of them just don't want to represent the Gambia again, because if you can remember the Commonwealth game that was held in Australia,
Yes.
we had a good representation there. Bosta was there, Ablai Azim. And of the following year, Ablai Azim ran the best timing in the whole Australia. Best timing in 100 and 200 meters. Australia was behind Azim to force him to naturalize. That is why it was very easy for him to get married to his white woman, to start settling. But at the end of the day, the frustration, he lost his mom in Gambia, so many psychological things that deprive him from participating. Not only him, a lot of Gambians are outside running, but they are not considered.
What can you do to still keep their dream going? Because you never know, things can change at any moment. We're talking about 2028, that is the Los Angeles, and they still have some time. Like Tijan will tell you, that is my last focus about Olympic participation, because he has believed in the reality that he's aging, and after 2028 it will be difficult for him to meet any Olympic record again to qualify for Olympic. What are you doing in your capacity as somebody who has been working with them closely to still keep that momentum in them, get them believe that Gambia can still be the option?
First, we are always doing our best, trying to maintain the communication, give them the advice, give them the motivation, give them the support that we can in our capacity. Because for Gambia, we have Coaches Association, which I am a president of the Gambia.
That's the Gambia Athletic Coaches Association?
Yes. So most of the time, we establish channel of communication with athletes who are in the diaspora to see their progress, to see their challenges, and see how best we can help them to bring down the negative attitude or thoughts that can deprive them from being participated. But most of the time, what we receive from them is most of it, for us we are tired, we are
Because already psychologically they are
affected.
Yes,
They are affected psychologically because of they have not given them the chance and the opportunity to represent the Gambia, and they are representing internationally in competitions, and the results are always there. So for us, we always go to the association and tell them, look, we have these people. Let's try and establish a good channel of communication with them and see how best we can get them anytime we want them. But for us, we can only do our quota. I am not an administrator. I am a coach. I am also, I can say I am also an administrator.
Yeah. Because you represent the Gambia Coaches, Athletic Coaches Association,
Exactly.
so you are a stakeholder in the association.
Exactly. I am also a national coach. I was also a national athlete.
Yes.
So I know what it takes to be there. So if you don't know what it takes to be there, you will never be there. The reasons why we were not all professionals according to our own desire is because of one or two things. And the moment we stepped outside the Gambia, I was in Cuba. I went to Cuba with 26 years.
Well, that was very young at the time.
I can say I was young, but to me I was old even. Because the ones I was with, they were nothing less than more than 23 years old.
Wow.
18, 19, 20,
So
21, the Caribbeans,
So you see how
the Latinos. But yet still, with my that age, I could perform better than them with no professional training. I went to Cuba, I was able to run 100 meters in 10.3
Wow.
within 2 years. So had it been that I was continuing training. But there comes a time when I clocked 28 years old, after 2 years I say, I'm close to 30. And I did not come here to be an athlete, I come here to learn,
Yes.
to be a coach or an administrator. Because of it's a university. So I have to bring down my athletics performance and focus more on academics. But yet still I knew that had it been that I had an athletic scholarship, then
It would have been different.
it would have been different.
Yeah,
So you have a lot of them here, even better than me. So the moment we give them these chances and these opportunities, it's just about giving them the chance, the opportunity and the motivation.
Yeah.
Then we will see another Gambia in the next, before LA even.
Yeah.
Because we still have time before LA.
Yeah, we still have time. It's 2028,
Yeah.
and you're getting into 2026, 2 years, 27.
We
still
still
have
have about 2 years.
Yes.
2 years is enough.
This should be fine to get any.
2 years is enough to build up a standard team, to get a good representation, even to grab a medal in LA.
Yeah.
Because of the finance can be there. I can tell you that the Gambians in the diaspora, we have a group which is the Gambia former athletes. So is there. So his real name again, something Drame, Modulamin Drame.
Yes.
Modulamin Drame, he is the president of the American Chamber of Commerce in the United States of America. You know that is not a small.
That's not a small, yeah.
He benefited through the Olympic Solidarity Scholarship in '96 Atlanta. By that time we were going to school. You have Ian Drame, Dr. Drame, he's a doctor in one of these universities, top universities in America. He's a PhD holder in agriculture, providing so many projects. He is the
I
one,
think he will send some materials.
yeah, he donated some material. He's the one that facilitated the traveling of most of these Gambians who are in America now. You talk of Makalo. Makalo is doing well.
Yes.
You talk of Fanta. You talk of Maimuna. They are doing absolutely well.
Fanta is also running still.
Yeah, and Maimuna, Jalo, they are all doing absolutely. But these people, they are doing their quota, but they have a problem with the association, the executive. That is the main problem. We have human resources that are influential in providing support for the Gambians, but they are not.
I hope at some point, they will consider this for the generation coming. Athletics has been dominant. Look, like you talk about now, those benefits, and if you are telling somebody about that today, they will know athletics has been here helping Gambia for many, many years. They went to the United States, study, run, and also have scholarship. So that is amazing, and we have just signaled. Xavier, your final word to the Gambians, because already we have exhausted the time. Yeah, the discussion is going very well, and we know what to contribute anyway. When programs go with timing,
Yeah.
so your message to the Gambians.
Yeah, my message to the Gambians is, let's just be each other's keeper. Let us assist the young ones who are coming. We started from grassroots. If they are provided with the opportunity, the support, the motivation and the chance, definitely we will see a very fruitful Gambian participation in all sectors of sports, not only athletics. Because of you, we've already started seeing volleyball, for example. I always give reference to volleyball.
Because it's the fastest growing sport in the Gambia.
It's no doubt about it. They have not capacity building, not performance, not officiating, not administration. Because of they are following the right process and procedure of sports administration and management. So I am appealing to all Gambians. Sports is a science. If you want to develop it, you need so many procedures and factors that can make it. Let us factorize these aspects, provided that the government starts from the government to the ministry to all these sporting associations. I always tell our sports minister, Bakari Bali has a very big challenge because of he has inherited a ministry that is very fruitful but has so many obstacles. So the way he can overcome all these challenges is to collaborate with all these associations and listen, please. Because of sports is a career that can sustain the Gambia.
Absolutely.
I have been to Jamaica, bro. Jamaica, what sustains them is sports and entertainment, music and athletics.
That
is the one that sustains. That is what is sustaining this small country. And Gambia is bigger than Jamaica.
So we can also put just two fields
more than
together.
that. We have the same genes. We have the same mesomorph. We have the same body type. We have the same social ambitions. But definitely, for us, the way we value sports and the way sport is
different.
It's a big difference.
Yes.
It's high time that we need to wake up from the reality and invest in sports. Because the best way of gaining results in sports is to invest in grassroots. Not only
the elite,
but grassroots, and take it from there, transcending or trying to have a very smooth transition. On that note, I thank you, Mr. Drame, for giving me this opportunity and the chance to come and have a chat with you on the current state of Gambian sports, especially athletics. It's an amazing opportunity. Not every individual or every media can give you this chance. But
thank you so much. We have been together for many years as young sports reporter. Javis has always been, a very good contributor to athletics in this country. He's a former athlete, a national coach, and now coordinating a lot of things for athletics in this country. He's also the president of the Gambia Athletic Coaches Association. So we want to congratulate him for him and also encourage him to keep pushing. By 2028, we hope to see Los Angeles bringing the first gold medal to the Gambia. Until we come your way on 360 Sports program next week, have a peaceful afternoon.